are above me. I don't need to be a dwarf among midgets. I need somebody who can inspire me to aspire to become better than what I am. I need somebody to say, you got too much hood, you Mason. You like too many Cadillacs and Gators. Yeah, but I keep driving. I'ma buy me a little soon. I need somebody to say, you need more culture in your life. I need somebody to tell me, boy, if you don't stop what you're doing, you're going to lose your anointing. You're going to mess up and get put out your church. I need somebody who is not intimidated by me, who loves me enough and is big enough to pull me up to a place that I sometimes don't want to come up to. Keep doing what you're doing, sir.
That's right.
What's this?
Help us. Come on.
Got to get out of here. The text says in the 5th verse, here is where we have church. He says, and he gave heed unto them expecting to receive. Oh, watch it. We can shout there, but if I tag the rest of the text, he said expecting to receive something from them. Not from him, which is God, but from them, which is man. May I suggest to you that the text does not say that his expectation was missing. His expectation was misdirected. It's a dangerous thing to put humanity where only divinity has the power to be. Dr. John Bryan, who's the father of Dr. Jamal Bryan, testified and said when he left Baltimore, he would oftentimes come back and visit, but he would be so filled with hurt and he would be so disheartened by the time he left, because he said constantly people would come up to him and say, Dr. Bryan, Bishop Bryan, I miss you. I ain't been to church since you left Baltimore. And he said he would throw up his hands and say, oh Lord, forgive me if I made somebody make me more important than you are in their life. I know you ain't say nothing, man. But sometimes, because we have more faith in the preacher than in God, we hold the anointing hostage. And y'all didn't say nothing. Lesson then, I'm moving. I'm like an old truck. Takes me a while to get cranked. But when I crank up, I run, baby, run. The lesson suggests that he had expectation. 2 elements that creates expectation. That's imagination and anticipation. Put them together, it creates expectation. One makes you see what can happen. The other one makes you believe it will happen. And the latter one makes you act like it's already happening. Touch your neighbor and say, I need an imagination for my expectation, but I shout in anticipation. Subject then, the audacity of hope suggests that we've got to start focusing upon what we don't have and start looking towards what we desire to have, and then maintain the drive in order to get it. The question that plagues the minds of the listeners is, preacher, how can I get to the place where I find the audacity of hope? Got a few things, and I'm headed back to City Grove. The first thing I see in the text is what this man has is what we must have. You need a portrait of possibility. Don't sound like much right now, but look at what the text says. The text says, certain man lame from his mother's womb was carried, laid daily at the gate called Beautiful, asked the arms of them and entered to the temple, who seeing, watch it, he was lame, not blind. He saw in them what could possibly happen in him. And you need somebody in your life that represents what you can be, because your conception is a byproduct of your perception. What you see begins to stir something in you and makes you believe you can have it. Exposure creates expectation. That's why you got to get out of Shreveport. I'm telling you, you listen, you got to drive to Dallas to catch the plane. If you catch the plane in Shreveport and mess up and connect in a major city or metropolis like New York or Atlanta or something like that, you will come back home depressed. That's inside between me and Bishop. Listen. You need a portrait of possibility, something that can make you dream. And here is the thing you got to understand. You can never rise above your association. The 2nd verse said he had carriers that carried him every day, but he didn't have anybody to challenge the way he was. surrounded by carriers or challengers. Portrait of possibility makes me begin to dream. Please don't miss this, because here is the thing you got to understand about dreaming. You have to connect with dreamers in order to be inspired to dream. But you'll never feel like dreaming hanging with dream stealers and thought killers. When you pick your next circle, when you get your next fave 5, here is the criteria. Just throw some crazy stuff out one day. I mean, some outlandish stuff. You know you live in the projects. But say, ride with me over there to Southern Trace. I need to look at a house. Just say some ignorant stuff. You know you got a bus pass and get a ride with them every other Sunday. But just say, listen, come ride with me in the car. They don't know you rented it from Enterprise. Ride with me in the car while I go over to Jaguar and pick out my 2014. Just say some crazy stuff, and if they get the stomach virus face, you know you got the wrong people in your circle, because